Welcome everyone to India's largest learning platform, Unacademy. You can subscribe to Unacademy and become a part of Unacademy family. There are many benefits of Unacademy subscription. For example, you can attend daily live classes. These classes are highly engaging. You can ask your doubts. Answer polls are conducted through which you can see your performance and ranking as well. Live test and quizzes are also very much part and parcel of Unacademy subscription through which you can evaluate your performance. The courses of Unacademy are structured, properly planned. You also get unlimited access to the platform through which you can see live and recorded courses as well. After subscription, you can attend course of top educators like Mrunal Patel, Mudit Gupta, Aman Sharma and other 100 plus top educators. Now, for UPSC CSC subscription fees, there is a hike in subscription fees. For 1 month it is 9,000 rupees, 3 month 22,500, for 6 month 40,500, for 12 month it is 49,500, for 20 month it is 72,000, and for 36 month it is 90,000. Now you can use my referral code AJ01 to get 10% off on this subscription fees. This fees is for GS and UPSC optional subscription. Similarly, you can go for Iconic subscription. Iconic subscription of 12 months where you get to prepare under the guidance of a personal coach, a mentor. You get to practice daily mains question answer, study planner and personalized feedback under the guidance of a coach, a mentor. So for Iconic subscription we have got 3 years package. You can go for 1 year, 2 year or 3 year. 1 year Iconic subscription is 1,41,000 rupees. Now you can use my code, referral code, and get 10% off on this subscription. My referral code is AJ01. Now there is an special offer for you. It is called introductory offer and it is applicable only for next 5 days. Introductory offer. Now all learners who are subscribing to Unacademy before 31st October 2020, your GS subscription is coming with optional paper subscription. Means if you are subscribing to general studies till 31st October, your optional subscription is entirely free. You don't have to pay separate fee of optional. So total subscription fees is 49,500. After 31st October, along with this 49,500, you have to pay optional fee of 27,500. So it will be around 77,000 rupees. So if you subscribe within this 5 days, you are getting a discount of 27,500, or you don't have to pay optional fee. So take subscription before 31st October 2020 or take subscription today itself. Also you can use my referral code AJ01 to get 10% off. After 31st October you have to pay 27,500 rupees additional if you want to subscribe for GS and optional. So keep this important information in your mind. Now which optionals are being offered? This is exhaustive list of optional offered by Unacademy. So now your preparation becomes easy with Unacademy, where you are not only getting prepared for general studies, but the dedicated list of optional public administration, PSIR, psychology, sociology, geography, Hindi, economics, anthropology, zoology, agriculture, mathematics, commerce and accountancy, law, management, and these four are literature option: Maithili, Hindi literature, Kannada literature, and English literature. So you can take subscription if you want to prepare for optional as well. Fees is only 49,500 rupees for next 5 days. Otherwise you will end up paying 77,000 after 31st October. So keep this important information in your mind. Use code AJ01 to get benefit of the scheme. Now we are under GS paper 4 master strategy of answer writing. Now this paper is which is ethics, integrity and aptitude. It's very important for UPSC mains examination. People are scoring, either they are scoring very high or they are messing up the paper. So we'll see how to attempt the paper. So overview of examination, toppers marks, knowing the demand of examination through syllabus and last 10 years paper. I will also share book list, indicative book list with you. Will also write answer of one or two questions so that I will be able to make you understand that how to write answers. So everything will be shared in the class. Basically there are 7 papers in mains examination. This paper 5 is GS paper 4, which is known as ethics, integrity and aptitude. 250 marks. We all know about this. Let us move forward. Let us see marks of topper of GS paper 4. 2018 topper 116 marks, 2017 95 marks, 104 marks, 1110, 130 and 102. So people who are getting very good marks in 2008 GS paper 4 are Kanish Kataria 116 marks, which is quite a good marks. 100 plus 110 plus marks are quite good in GS paper 4. Again Tina Dabi 110. Era Singhal is getting 130 marks. So you can imagine that if you assume that 110 marks is good in GS, you can take a lead of 20 marks and get 130 as well, provided you are preparing in right direction. So purpose of this class is to make a coherent strategy of GS paper 4. Now let us quickly see the syllabus of GS paper 4. I have divided syllabus in various parts to make you understand easily. Now first part is ethics and human interface. Second part is attitude. Next part is aptitude. Then we have got emotional intelligence, thinkers and philosophers, ethics in public administration, and at the last we are having probity. So our syllabus is divided into 7 parts. Now what is there in ethics and human interface? It is basically a basics of ethics paper, where you are asked to read the essence of ethics, determinants and consequences of ethics in human interaction. Basically this portion deals with concepts of ethics or basics. various dimension of ethics in public and private relationship, basic human values, especially lessons from the lives and teaching of great leaders, reformer and administrator. According to them, what are basic human values? Also, this portion is important because questions are being asked from this particular section. Role of family, society, educational institute in inculcating moral and ethical values. So what role is being played by family, society and education institution in inculcating values, ethical and moral values in you? Second part is attitude. Attitude part consists of content, structure and function of attitude, how attitude influence your thought and behavior, relationship of attitude with thought and behavior, moral and political attitude, social influences and persuasion. So basically what you need to focus, you need to focus the meaning of certain terms. For example, what is the meaning of attitude? What is moral attitude? What is political attitude? And relation, their interrelation. For example, moral and political attitude, how they are related with each other, how your attitude influence your thought and behavior, what is the relation between your thought and behavior, and social influences and persuasion is also there in attitude part. Next is aptitude. Now aptitude and foundational value of civil services. Now this question is repeatedly being asked, that what are the foundational values of civil services? What is integrity? You have to know, this question were asked in UPSC mains examination. Impartiality, non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication to public services, empathy, tolerance, compassion towards weaker section of the society. So this portion becomes very important because many key terms are there of syllabus. For example, you have to know the meaning of aptitude, what is integrity, how integrity is different from honesty, what is objectivity, what is non-partisanship, the difference between sympathy and empathy, what is tolerance, how to develop compassion towards weaker section of the society. So basically you have to know the key terms of syllabus, and year after year, if you scan through last 3 years paper, you will find some question or another question on these terms where he's asking you the definition of integrity and application of integrity. So basic terms you need to know, you need to know the meaning of terms, you need to know application of the terms. So we will see 2019 paper as well, and how to attempt this kind of question. So aptitude part. Next part is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence concepts. What is emotional intelligence? Utility and application of emotional intelligence, especially in administration and governance. So what is EQ? What is IQ? How they are different from each other? How to use them, especially in public administration and governance. So fourth part is about emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence, emotional intelligence is basically ability to understand your own emotions, also ability to understand the emotion of other person, then using these emotions in problem solving or administration. It is the meaning of emotional intelligence. So you have to know what is meaning of emotional intelligence, what is application or utility of emotional intelligence, how EQ is different from IQ. These some of these basic questions are asked from this particular section. Thinkers and philosopher. Now again this portion is very important because year after year you will find question on Mahatma Gandhi. Now since last 3 4 year there has been a trend where UPSC is having a separate question on quotations, on quotes, where suppose question number 6, so he is asking you this question in three parts and he is giving you three quotations, quotation number 1, 2 and 3. Now you have to explain the quotation given by moral thinker and philosophers or leaders from India as well as from world. So an entire question is being asked regularly in 2017, 18 and 19 as well. So you have to know the thinker, philosopher, leaders from India as well as world. Mahatma Gandhi is very important. You have to read about Mahatma Gandhi thoroughly. I will try to cover Mahatma Gandhi in our fodder material section where I will tell the philosophy and basic principle of Gandhiji. So this section is again very important. Regularly one question is asked from this particular section and three parts, three quotations. You have to explain the quotation as well. Also thinker and philosopher are important because in all ethics answer you can use these thinkers and philosopher to substantiate your argument. So you need a strong grip over thinker and philosopher. Ethics in public administration, how ethics is useful in public administration. So status and associate problem, ethical dilemmas in government and private institution. Now this particular portion, at least you will find 3 to 4 case studies on this particular portion. So again very important to know what is ethical dilemma, because in case study question you have to write ethical dilemmas. So in every case study you will write 2 to 3 or 4 to 5 ethical dilemmas involved in this particular case. So before writing those dilemmas you need to understand what are those dilemmas. Laws, rules, regulation and concise as a source of ethical guidance. Again very important, especially in case studies method, because how to decide or how to take decision in a particular case study depends upon law, rules, regulation and also your inner voice. Now that helps in you in decision making. So again very important, especially in application based question. Case study. So case study is basically there to test your ethics in public administration, where ethical concern and dilemma, problems, application of rules, regulation, concise are repeatedly being asked. Accountability and ethical governance, again very important. Now when he's asking you about accountability, now you need to know the meaning of accountability, and you need to know the difference between accountability and responsibility. So if you know the definition, if you know the difference, if you have got clarity about terms, it will be very useful in all answer writings. Ethical governance. What is ethical governance? Its meaning and application, very important. Strengthening of ethical and moral values in governance. So many of the question in ethics paper, he will ask suggestions from you, asking you how to strengthen ethical and moral values in governance. So again important, ethical issues in international relations and funding, corporate governance. So basically this particular portion you need to have a strong grip. So theoretical understanding of this particular portion becomes very important in attempting case studies, and case studies are carrying weightage of 120 marks. Case studies are carrying half of the weightage of entire paper. If you do not have grip over this particular portion, ethics in public administration, you won't be able to deal case studies properly. And there has been a trend in recent time that you won't be able to answer the case study if you do not know the theoretical background, if you do not have theoretical understanding. So work on this particular section. I am marking it's very important. In fact, it is one of the most important section of ethics paper. Moving forward, what is probity? Now concepts of public service. What is public service? There was a question in UPSC mains examination asking you the meaning of public service. Now we know what is public service in our mind, but are we able to write the uh, on a paper the meaning of public service? So you have to get ready for this kind of question. Philosophical basis of governance and probity. So it is asking you what is philosophical ground of governance and probity. Information sharing and transparency in government. So basically it is about RTI Act, Right to Information Act, right to information, codes of ethics, codes of conduct, citizen charter. These three basics you need to know. What is code of ethics, what is code of conduct, how citizen charter functions, work culture of an organization, quality of service delivery, utilization of public fund, and challenges of corruption. Now you can easily relate to all these chapter because they are interrelated. Ethics, code of ethics, code of conduct, citizen charter, quality of work, service delivery, public fund, utilization, and corruption. They are interrelated. Basically they are about the functioning of public servant. So you need to know the basics of all these aspects. It is about probity. Now important instruction, take printout of your syllabus. Remember entire syllabus by your heart and soul. Time and again I am saying this because if you do not remember the syllabus, you will drift away, you will get emotional, you will read something which is there not in the syllabus, and you will waste your precious time. So take printout of syllabus, remember entire syllabus, and always carry syllabus with you. If you are reading in a library, paste the syllabus on your study table. If you are reading at home, always paste the syllabus on your table, and it should be always in front of you, so that in day at least 20 to 15 times you see your syllabus. Now GS paper 4 basically is divided into 7 parts. We have seen at first part was ethics in human interface, second attitude, third is aptitude, emotional intelligence, thinkers and philosophers, ethics in public administration, and seventh part is probity. Now let us see last 10 years paper. So 10-year paper will help you in knowing demand of examination, focus area, pattern, trend, difficulty level, and other things. We have already seen this. Join me on my telegram unacademy_ashpal. Use my referral code AJ01 before 31st of October. Otherwise, in before subscription to Unacademy before 31st October, you are getting free optional coaching. Otherwise, you have to pay separate 27,500 for optional. Now 2019 GS paper 4, there are two sections in paper, section A and section B. So section A is basically our theoretical section, and you will see same pattern is being repeated year after year. So in section A, basically he is asking you theoretical question where meaning of term or application of terms are asked. For example, don't read the question. Question number 1 is divided into 2 parts. Question number 2 in 2 parts, 3 in 2 parts. Question number 4 in 2 parts, 5 in 2 parts. Again, question number 6, which I was telling about quotations. Now he has asked you 3 quotations. 10 marker, 10 marker, 10 marker. So 30 marks per quotations. Very important. Question number 6, 3 part. Each part is he's asking you explain the quotation. First quotation Socrates, second quotation M.K. Gandhi, third quotation Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So you have to know the quotation and their meaning. It becomes very important for ethics paper. I will share quotations with you in ready to use material as well, and their meaning also. So this is pattern of section A. Now we are not going to read the question, but we will see what he is asking you to write. So section A, basic principles of public life, illustrate any 3 principles. So he is asking you what is basic principle and any 3 principle with example. So usually they ask example, they expect example from you. You have to, and second question, you have to tell the meaning of a public servant. Now we know what is public servant, but to write the meaning of public servant on paper is difficult. So he's asking you this kind of terms, and what should be expected role of a public servant. So again, it is depends upon your reading, your comprehension, that how you write expected role of a public servant. So terms are repeatedly being asked. Second question, part A, critically examine reason and implications. Question number second B, do you agree? So he's asking you whether you agree or not. If you agree, justify. If you do not agree, justify again. Question number third, you have to tell the meaning of constitutional morality. Again, a term were asked where meaning is being asked. How does one uphold the constitutional morality? So methods or ways of upholding constitutional morality. Meaning of crisis of conscience. Again, a term term is being asked, where you have to explain the meaning and how does it manifest. So basically there are two parts of question. Usually in first part he is asking you meaning of a particular term, and second part he is asking you how do you see that particular term, or how to apply it, how you uphold it, how you manifest it. Question number 4, basic principle of citizen charter movement and what is their importance. Do you agree? Part B, do you agree with something? Question number 5, probity in governance. Again, how do you understand probity in governance? So now what will be better way of preparation, that you jot down all terms of the syllabus and write definitions of the term, because by doing this half of the portion of section A will be covered by you. Term public servant, you should know the meaning. Term constitutional morality, you should know the meaning. Term crisis of conscience, you have to know the meaning. Again, term probity in governance, he is asking you to explain the meaning. Now what do you understand by probity in governance? Question number 5b, do you agree and discuss. So terms are being asked. So what we are getting from this, we are getting from this that you have to know the meaning of terms. It becomes very important. And an entire question of 30 marks on quotation. So you have to read about leading thinker, philosopher, and know their important quotations and also meaning of those quotations. Usually MK Gandhi quotations are asked year after year. Socrates, APJ Abdul Kalam was asked in 2019. Now section B, there are case studies. So what will be your response? You are asked to examine something, a case was given to you. Next, question number 8, how does this trend affect functioning of a civil servant? What measures should be taken? Justify your answer. So basically in case studies he is asking your opinion, and whatever is your opinion you need to justify it. Next, what are ethical issues involved in this particular case? What are options and solution? So you have to suggest this. 3 question. Question number 10, consequences of this politicization of bureaucracy, you have to discuss. 20 marks. So each case studies carrying 20 marks. Case studies are long. It will take time to read. At least you will take 1 minute to read and understand the case study. So this paper become a bit complicated paper, section B especially. Question number 11, what are dimension of crisis? Various dimension of crisis you have to write. Suggest measures to deal with the crisis. So basically in case study paper he is asking your opinion. Question number 12, suggest institutional measures and address above 3 issues. So 3 issues are given to you. He is asking you to address all these issues. So basically we have got two section of GS paper 4. Section A is theoretical portion. Section B is case studies. Section A is carrying 130 marks weightage. Section B is 120 marks weightage. It is case studies. Now let us explore more. Section A is basically, question in section A can be divided into 3 parts. In first part of the question he will ask you the basic understanding of something, be it a term. So he will ask you about the meaning of term, definition of the term, how do you see. So basically he is asking you concept in first part of the question. Second part of the question he will generally ask you the application of your understanding of that particular term. Third part, quotations. This is general trend in all the questions: meaning of term, application of term, and a entire question in quotations. Now, what will be strategy of to prepare this particular section? That you have to know the meaning of all important terms. Second, you have to know how to apply these terms in administration, especially, or in our general life. So section A can be prepared in that particular way, but detailed strategy and attempting question I will share you later on. We are having a long class on this with live examples. Now section B, how to deal with section B, what he is expecting from you. First part is require strong hold of the syllabus. Now to deal with the case study, you need your basics prepared. You need a theoretical understanding, especially this particular portion. Ethics in public administration. This particular portion, you need a strong hold over it, a strong grip over this particular section. You have to read this section in detail. Probability will also be useful in case study. Strong basics. Second, now this year there is a changing trend. In recent 3-4 years, he is asking you case studies. Now when ethics paper was introduced in 2011, or in initial year 2011, 12 and 13, in this initial 3-4 years, the case studies were very easy. So what you could do, from the case itself you can derive your options and answer. So actually your answer was hidden in the case study itself. If you read it carefully, you would be able to answer this. But since the paper was introduced in 2011, we are in 2020, so 10 years period have been has passed. Now this is a trend which is being seen in last 3-4 years, that cases cannot be answered from the question itself. So case studies have become bit difficult. Merely by reading case you cannot answer it, so you have to know the basics prepared. You have a strong grip over basics. Also you need a solution oriented bureaucratic mindset, because in every case he is placing you at a particular power position. Third part, he is placing you at a particular power position, be it a district collector, be it an administrator, be it a CEO of a company. So he is placing you in a power position and he is asking you to offer the solution or to take the decision. So you need a solution oriented bureaucratic mindset to deal with this particular question, case study portion. So it becomes quite a difficult exercise, but we'll try to solve it. We'll try to find a coherent strategy about dealing the case study. I have taken a live case study of 2019 paper and we will see how to solve it. I will also tell you the standard method of solving the case study. So section A you have to deal in this particular way. Section B you need to have these inputs to deal with the section properly. Now let us see the trend. There are two sections every year, section A and section B. Section A is basically theory or basics. Section B is case study. 2015-16, this 2 year The weightage was of section A was 120 marks, section B 130. Same. Now from 2017 onwards till today or till 2019, section A is 130 marks weightage, case study is 120 marks weightage, and this pattern is continued. So you can assume that half of the weightage will go to theoretical portion, half of the weightage will go to case studies. Directives and GS paper. Now about directives, we are having a class tomorrow morning. Tomorrow 8 a.m. class is on directives. I will explain each of the term, explain, analyze, evaluate, elucidate. So all the directives or important terms in GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. He is asking you to explain something, discuss something, examine something, critically examine something. So we will understand these terms and we will have examples for each term. So basically we will take sample question and understand the meaning of each term. So tomorrow we are going to have that important class. So be there in the class. Now sources, let us, before moving forward, let us see how to prepare ethics paper. So I'm sharing you sources of ethics, integrity and aptitude portion, how to, from where to cover this. So first and foremost, source should be a one book. You can refer any good book, but this book is also good. Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude, G. Subbarao book. This book is good. You can refer it. Many topper have time and again refer this particular book. So you can refer Subbarao book. It is quite a good book, especially covering the theoretical portion. It has got many case studies as well. So this book can be referred, or if you find any other book, you can refer it. If you want to read NCERT and if time permits, now it is optional. It is according to availability of time. Read 11th class psychology NCERT, 11th and 12th class psychology NCERT, not complete NCERT, but some of the chapters, especially on emotional intelligence. To understand more about it, those people, those who are in first, second year, third year of graduation, they can refer this NCERT. Emotional intelligence, also attitude, aptitude, these things or these psychological terms are given in a proper way with examples. So you can refer psychology NCERT class 11th and 12th, only selective reading. Those who are appearing for 2020 mains examination, they need not to refer this NCERT. Important is ARCs. Two ARC are very important from ethics or GS paper 4, ARC second and ARC fourth. So you can read summary of these two ARCs. You need not to go read entire ARC, but their summary. You can also refer Unacademy video on ethics. They are quite a good. Avdesh sir is teaching. He is one of the prominent faculty of ethics. Or you can attend classes of other educator, but Unacademy video will be quite a helpful. Now if you want to refer to another authentic source, lecture of Harvard lecture by Michael Sandel, they are very important. So if you have time and energy, go for this lecture series. For ethics portion, toppers, experienced player, they time and again refer Harvard lecture, so you can go for it. Yojana issues, special editions can also be referred, especially on governance. and other topic which are there in your ethics paper. So refer special edition of Yojana, newspaper Hindu and Indian Express, reading, we read monthly magazines. So from newspaper we can take important examples, anecdotes which can be used in ethics paper. So basically, what are our sources? First, a good book, for example G. Subbarao, that is also a good book, or any other good book which you would like to read, go for it. No compulsion of reading Subbarao. Second, ARC 2 and 4. So summary of ARC only. Third, Unacademy video. Top class educators like Avdesh sir is teaching, so you can go for it. Harvard video. And newspaper we are regularly reading, monthly magazine we are reading. So you can refer these limited sources. Now I won't suggest many other sources because you will get confused. So have limited sources, have limited book list, and read them repeatedly. That is the key of success. So I'm suggesting you one books, few additional material, ARC, Unacademy video, newspaper, etc. That will be sufficient for you. You can refer some special edition of Yojana magazine, but that depends upon your time and energy. So that these are indicative book list of GS paper 4. Join me on Telegram, Unacademy_Ashpal. Use referral code AJ01. Now, how to attempt section 1? So basically pattern of section 1 is, we have seen, he is asking you to write definition, significance of particular term, and application of term. So a particular question in section A, he is asking you in 3 parts. First he is asking you definition, significance, and another part he is asking you is application of that particular term. Now how to attempt it? So I have taken an example for you to help you out. For example, we are having integrity, a term. So what you have to do, you have to prepare GS paper 4 diary and write all important terms and write their simple definition. So that will be ready to use material for you. For example, I have taken a term integrity and I have written simple definition of integrity. Integrity is ability of a person to remain committed and consistent with his personal and professional values. Remain committed and consistent with his personal and professional values. It is quality of having strong moral principle and being honest. So honesty is very much part and parcel of integrity, but integrity is a wider term. Also, integrity is synchronization between one's thought, speech, and action. So you will be called a person of high integrity when whatever you are thinking, whatever you are saying, and your action, they are in harmony. Whatever you are saying, you speak, you are saying, and you actually do it. So you will be called a person of high integrity. Also, integrity, since it is a broader term, so it encompasses honesty, uprightness, and rationality. So a person who is of high integrity, he will be honest, he will be upright, and he will be rational. So I have written my definition in this way. I have also written an example of person of high integrity. For example, Mahatma Gandhi was a person of high integrity. Ashok Khemka, a civil servant, we all know about him. He is considered as a person of very high integrity. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, or you can take any other example. So the idea is to prepare definition of old terms. Also examples. Now how it will help? A direct question will be asked, and in first part of question he will ask you the meaning of integrity. So since you have ready to use material, now you don't have to think over it. Your material is ready, you just have to jot down your definition on the paper. Also you have example with you, so it, even if he is asking you only to write definition, you have to write example there after the definition, that persons of high integrity are Mahatma Gandhi, Ashok Khemka, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, or whatever example you have written. It will help you in solving first part of the question. And write all 50 or 60 terms mentioned in the syllabus. Though there are few terms mentioned in the syllabus, but there are other related terms. So have your definition prepared. It will help you in solving your part A of the paper. So definition you have to get ready with you. Significance you can prepare, and also application can also be prepared. So have an essay diary, write all these things. It will help you in dealing with section A very in a better way or properly. Also in ethics paper you will always be in urgency. Why you will be in urgency? Because we have seen in section there are 6 questions, section A. Now question number 1 to 5, question number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, he is asking you in two part A and part B. Again part A and part B. So basically there are 10 questions. Also question number 6 is divided into 3 parts, part A, B and C. So to cover this section A, you have to write 13 answers, and you have to write this 13 answer within 90 minutes. So you need to prepare your material in advance, and you know that question will be on definition always. So it is better way to prepare the definition. Now section A 90 minute, 13 question you have to answer. Right? So preparation advance will help you. Also talking about section B, he will ask you 5 to 6 case studies. Case studies are generally long. There can be one page case study, so it will take time 1 or 2 minutes to read and understand the case study. You have to write various dimension in the case study. For example, what are the stakeholders, what are ethical dilemmas, what are options available with you, which option you will choose, an example and justification and conclusion. So case study also you need sufficient time to write. So also case studies 20 marks. So again, because since you have to answer 13 question here and 6 question there, so in a whole you are answering 20 questions. Now out of these 20 questions, these questions, 6 questions are very long. One page question. You will require time 1-2 minutes to read and understand. Then you will be in urgency. So basically GS paper 4 is about urgency. So more mock test you will give, more confident you will be in writing the answer. Another better way is to prepare your material in advance, because you know he is going to ask you definition, significance and application. Why not to prepare all these things in advance? Once you prepared in advance, it would become very easy for you to attempt the entire paper. That's why people are getting 130 plus marks. So be a smart player and act accordingly. So it is about section A. I have uh, discussed how to write the definition, how to write example. Now section A, what more you have to do? You have to prepare chart. You have to prepare diagram, personality values and ready to use definition. Now what is this? How to do it? So let us see. There is a question on services value in examination. So whenever there is an scope of preparing chart or diagram, go for it, shoot it. So civil services value, he is asking you to tell some civil services value. We know some of the values. For example, a civil servant should be have leadership quality, objectivity, neutrality, empathy, competence, work commitment and partisanship. So what you can do, you can draw a box like this: civil services values and arrow lead, decision making, objectivity, leadership, empathy. So whenever and wherever possible, draw your chart. So this chart will be very useful in answer writing, because it looks good, it looks nice, and you are able to capture the attention of examiner. So that is the whole purpose of answer writing. So write chart whenever and wherever possible. So chart and diagram, very important. Now personality values, what is this and how to prepare this? Now we know many leading leaders or philosophers or personalities. Now the best way of preparing them is to write their leadership qualities in advance in your GS paper 4 diary. For example, Mahatma Gandhi. Now what would I do? I will write all important values of Mahatma Gandhi, or important qualities of Gandhiji in advance in a paper. For example, Mahatma Gandhi has got leadership skill, he was objective, he had got empathy, compassion, integrity, humanity and courage. Now whenever a particular question asked directly on Mahatma Gandhi, your material is ready, you can directly shoot it. You can write the qualities of Mahatma Gandhi. Or whenever you need an example of leadership, you will quote Mahatma Gandhi. Whenever there is a question on objectivity, your example is ready, you can write Mahatma Gandhi. Whenever a question is about integrity, a person of high integrity, your answer is ready, you will write Mahatma Gandhi. So in this way you can use the personality values in all part of the essay writing. So prepare your material in advance. Similarly, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. What were the values of Dr. Kalam? He was known for his professional commitment. He was known as Missile Man of India. So India's integrated guided missile development program was his brainchild. Under this program, Patna, Prithvi, Agni, Trishul, Nag and Akash series of missiles were developed. So Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is known for his professional competence. He was highly professionally competent. Now, whenever a question comes on professional competence, it would be nice idea to quote his example. Service motive. This person was committed to his service to the society as well. So you can write his example. In integrity case, you can use him. In leadership, decision making, humanity, he can be used in many other places. So these are personality values. You can uh, jot down values of 20 to 25 leaders, philosophers, motivation gurus, or influencers. So prepare this exhaustive list. Ashok Khemka, his example can be used: a person of high integrity, a person of honesty. So if you are suggesting something in dealing with corruption, you can say that we can take inspiration from Ashok Khemka. Commitment to public service. Now this person, if you have read his story, he was transferred time and again more than 50 times. Despite that transfer, his transfer, he is known for commitment to public service. He is also known for non-partisanship, neutrality. So whenever there is a question on non-partisanship, you write definition of non-partisanship and write example of Ashok Khemka. Now it will bring a sense of completeness to your answer, because merely jotting down definition won't fulfill the purpose. The better way is, thank you for the session in English. Okay. Now my sessions are only in English, and because this is English medium channel, so I take my session in English as, only. So you can take example of Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Ashok Khemka, and all other leaders. You can prepare the list of Gautam Buddha. You can write all his value. So prepare a list of 20 to 25 such leaders and have it ready, and shoot it whenever and wherever you have got any scope. This is how toppers prepare. Now these are their secret weapons. So it can be done in this particular way. I hope you are able to get me. Now let us move forward. What else you have to do in section A? So section A, so far we have discussed, you have to prepare your definition ready. Like this, you have to prepare your example ready. You have to use chart and diagram and personality value. Chart we have seen here. Whenever, wherever possible, draw a chart, personality values. Now what else you have to do in section A? Now whatever and whenever or whatever you are reading, take real life example. For example, you are reading newspaper, you are reading The Hindu, Indian Express. Now while reading newspaper, always search for anecdote, story, or incident which you can use in your ethics paper. Always search for anecdote, story, incident, or something which is there in the news which can be used in section A, real life example. For example, I have taken a recent case. There is a poor girl of a peon. She is 14 years old. Now her father is working in SDM office in Himachal Pradesh, Kangra district. Now that girl, despite being daughter of a peon, she scored 94% marks in 10th examination. Now what the SDM of Kangra did? He invited the girl and asked her to function as an SDM for one day. So you can use this beautiful example in Save Girl Child or Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, or in social persuasion that your girl child is also important to the society. If provided proper guidance, even a daughter of peon can score 94% marks. She can do good in education, she can do in working. So it is a kind of motivation. So such incident, such anecdote can be, you should compile all this anecdote in your diary. So her father was a peon in SDM office. She was called by SDM to become an SDM for one day. So it is a kind of inspiration from all other poor girls. So this kind of real life examples you can take. Now your ethics preparation is not only limited to newspaper reading and compiling your such anecdote. You can take real life example and note them in your diary. How? For example, any such incident happen in your school where you were under ethical dilemma and you were not able to decide something, but finally you two took right decision. So jot down such 5, 7, 10 incident of your personal life where you were under ethical dilemmas and you have taken a right decision, and make them ready with you and write them, because if you go through paper of ethics, he will ask you your opinion, he will ask you your definition, he will ask you what do you think. So your personal example can be very much useful in writing answers. Also, those who are working professional, they can take example of from their office work, any such example where some ethical dilemmas was involved, that can be used. Even if you are not get example from your personal life, from your workplace, go for examples from the life of leaders. For example, we have got an example of Mahatma Gandhi. If you remember, there was a case he was not able to spell the word cattle properly. Now there was an inspector who was there for inspection in the school, and the teacher asked the Mahatma Gandhi to copy the correct word from his neighbor, but Gandhiji refused. So that was the case of ethical dilemma. You can say that for short term he could get appreciation from inspector that he is correctly spelling the word, but in long term he wanted to follow the path of truth. So such real life examples can be taken. Also, one better way is mock answers. Generally people attend test series. So if you are attending some test series, so go look for mock answers, and if you find some good examples, compile all such good examples. Basically it is outsourcing, but what is harm in this? You are getting good example, your purpose is to compile all such examples, so it can be done. Write all these examples in your ethics diary. You should have at least 50 to 60 examples from newspaper, your personal life, from your office, from life of leader, from mock answers of any test series. Go for it, write in your ethics diary and use whenever and wherever possible during mock test and in real exam. It will give a sense of fulfillment to your answer. Your answer will look complete. Now you cannot give just argument without having some substantial ground. So use real life example. So these are some of the practical strategies which can be used in GS paper 4. Definition, charts, also personality values and real life example. So in this way you can attempt your GS paper 4. I hope you are able to relate with me, you are able to get me. Some other examples, for example, honesty, Mahatma Gandhi copy spelling, that example I have already discussed. Ethical dilemmas, for example, in our daily life we are faced with many ethical dilemmas. For example, there is a lawyer, he is defending a rape accused or terrorist or criminal. Now his dilemma is whether to prefer his profession or whether to do the social service. And many times, now let me quote one real life example we are generally faced with. Many a time we have generation gap, so our parents suggest us something to do which we do not agree and we know that is not correct. Now the ethical dilemma is whether to respect your parents or do the right thing. Parents are suggesting something which is not morally correct, so whether to respect your parents and obey their advice or whether to do the right thing, that is also a dilemma of our real life. So all these things can be used whenever and wherever possible. I am moving forward towards section B, and it is very important, be with me till the end of the class because we are going to write a live test case study, so it would be very beneficial for you. Section B. Now don't go in the exam and write the case study there in the exam. Have your preparation in ready with you. First and foremost thing for section B is you need your framework ready with you, which can be used while dealing the case study. Now what is framework? How you attempt a case study. So every case study can be attempted in this particular fashion. I have shared various strategies: step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So in step 1 what you have to do, in every case you have to summarize the case in 1 or 2 line only. Summary of entire case in 1 line or 1.5 line. Step 1. Step 2, you have to write all the stakeholders involved in the case, the party to the case. So for writing the stakeholders, use spoke and wheel. So you can write like this: stakeholders, so second step is writing stakeholders. Third is writing ethical dilemmas. Again you can use spoke and wheel to writing ethical dilemmas. There will be at least 3 to 4 ethical dilemmas in every case. So step third is writing the ethical dilemmas. Step 4, write what are the solutions, what are the options before the victim or option before you. So 4 to 5 option. Now keep one thing in your mind, write at least 2 extreme. What are extremes? Extreme is you are talking about North Pole and South Pole, which are not to be advised, but you will incorporate your extreme in your option. Why? because you have to give 4 to 5 options, so 2 should be extreme and 2 should be middle path or which are practical to be implemented. So you always write extremes. Step 5, after this 4 5 option, you suggest one option that we should go for this particular option in our case study. Step 5. Step 6 is you not only suggest that, also in option you write pros and cons. All 4 options, pros of option 1, cons of option 1, pros of option 2, cons of option 3, similar to all 4 options. Now step 5, choose an option. Step 6 is you have to give reasoning that why you have chosen a particular option. So write in detail. And at the end, you should end always with the quotation or a thinker's opinion. Now generally examiner asks you to write your opinion, but your opinion should be substantiated with the opinion of a thinker, of a philosopher, of a leader. So that matters the most. So steps: step 1, summary of case in one line. Step 2, stakeholders. Step 3, ethical dilemmas. 4, write 4 to 5 options to solve the case. Step 5, choose an option. Step 6, why you have chosen that option, your reasoning. And at the end, write a quotation, thinker's opinion to substantiate your argument. So let us do it through a live example. Now this is GS paper 4 2019 paper case study, section B. Let us read the case. An apparel manufacturer company having large number of women employee. So whenever you are reading case, start underlining the key important terms. There is a company which is having large number of women employees. Company was losing sales due to various factors. The company hired a reputed marketing executive. He is reputed, who increased the volume of sales within a short period of time. So companies having large number of women employee, there was a decline in sales. They have hired a person who increased the volume, sales volume in short period of time. However, some unconfirmed report came up regarding his indulgence in sexual harassment at the workplace. After some time, a woman employee launched a formal complaint to the management against the marketing executive about sexually harassing her. Faced with the company's indifference in not taking cognizance of her grievances, she lodged an FIR with the police. Realizing the sensitivity and gravity of the situation, the company called the woman employee to negotiate. In that, she was offered a hefty sum of money to withdraw the complaint and FIR. Also, give in writing that marketing executive is not involved in the case. Identify ethical issues involved. What options are available to the woman employee. So this is case of a company where the sales was declining. The company hired a reputed marketing executive. The executive performed well, and he increased the sales of company. But there were rumors about sexual harassment by him. Finally, a woman employee launched a complaint against him about sexual harassment. Now, company was indifferent to her complaint, so the victim went ahead and she lodged an FIR. Now, company realized the sensitivity and gravity of the case. So company came for negotiation. They are offering some money to the woman to take back her complaint, and also give in writing that marketing executive is not involved in this kind of case. Now such cases are real life examples. So you have to see the ethical issues involved and what options you have got. So how to deal with this case? We have got our framework ready with us. We will write in this particular framework. First is you have to write the summary of case. So step 1, case summary in 1 or 2 lines. So the case involved illegal sexual harassment at workplace by a revenue generating marketing executive and company's indifference. So you have summarized entire case in 1.5 line. Basically it is case of sexual harassment. Now harassment is being done by somebody who is generating revenue for the company, and company is indifferent to the complaint of victim. Now who are stakeholders? It is our second step. So stakeholders, you have to think in terms of parties involved. First party is the victim or woman who has lodged a complaint. Also, because it is said that there was unconfirmed report and person sexually harassed a woman employee, so there might be other woman employees be there who were sexually harassed by him, but they could not raise their voice. So other woman employees are also your stakeholders. So victim, woman employees, all woman employees, other possible victims can be the stakeholders. Company management, because company management is active party in the case, management is indifferent to the case. All other employees, there are male employees. Customer of the company, because cases of sexual harassment at workplace have its bearing on reputation of the company. So customer will get affected, they will get offended. Media, other parties, media, society at large, common public will also hear this case, and government institution, for example police, judiciary. Why police? Because she has lodged a formal complaint. Judiciary will also get involved, and other government institutions. So these are your all stakeholders. So think quickly and write the list of all the stakeholders exhaustively. Victim, other women employees, other possible all women employees, other possible victim, company management, other employee, customer, other. For example, if case is highlighted, media will definitely come. Society will also get affected. Common public will think that this company, which is a big apparel company, there are such cases are happening there where woman is not respected. Police, judiciary, other institutions. So these are my stakeholders. So what I'll do, I will draw a wheel, spoken card, and write my stakeholders in this way. So second step is completed. Now moving forward, step third, which is very important, he is asked you to write ethical issues involved. So it is being specifically asked in the question. So write all important ethical dilemmas. What are ethical dilemmas or ethical issues? First is whether to see company's profit or woman's safety. So company's profit versus woman's safety. Second, company's interest versus individual right. What is company's interest? Company's interest is to earn profit, to grow further. So company's interest versus individual right. Also company's reputation and woman's basic right. Woman's basic right is the right of safety, security, safe working place. or company's reputation is, if case come into media in society, company's reputation will get affected. Also, professional interest or personal security. Now that woman has two options, that she can offer the company's offer, so she can prefer her professional interest, or she will prefer her personal security. So these are some of the ethical dilemmas. You can think about more ethical dilemmas. So write all ethical dilemmas or ethical issues involved quickly. 4 to 5 ethical issues should be written. You should not write only one ethical dilemma, or you should not write 10 ethical dilemmas. Write 4 to 5, that will be sufficient. Now step 4, are you able to get me? Step 4, now what are the options available before woman employee? And I asked you to write at least two extremes. What are the extremes? First extreme will be to accept the offer of company, that yes, give me money, I will give in return that this person has done nothing to me. Second, resign from the company. So these are two extreme. So you must include these two in your options available for you. Accept the negotiation offered by the company and withdraw the case. Second, resign from the job and focus on other career options. Third, take a firm stand against the company management and continue her case. These are three options. You can add one or two more options. So let us see. First case, accept the offer of company. Now what are the positives plus pros and cons? Will be, pros will be she is getting hefty money, hefty sum of money. She is getting hefty sum of money. Also, case is giving her mental stress. So her mental stress problem will be solved. Now what are the negatives? So you can write two to 3 points in extremes. What are the negatives? Negatives are, if she accept the case, she will not get mental peace. Her confidence will be all time low. It will also affect her self-esteem. So you have to write in both the directions. So first, plus and minus. Second option, similarly you have to write resign. So what will be the plus, what will be the minus? If she resign, again mental stress or trauma which this case is causing to her, she will alleviate this her mental stress. Also, if case is not in her favor, and result of case is not in her favor, again she will not get acceptance in the company. So it is better to resign. And also the self executive is a powerful person, so it may be possible that case is might be not come in her favor. So after the case, her acceptance in the company would be, she would not be accepted in the company, or there will be boycott for her. What will be negative? Again, she will not get mental peace. Also, other woman employee who are sexually harassed by that sales executive, they, their safety and security will also jeopardize. Also, it will encourage the sales executive that nothing can be done against him. So plus and minus you have written. Now third case, third option, you have to write plus and minus. Take firm stand against company management and continue her case. Now if she is taking a firm stand, she might get support of other woman employee. Because majority of company employee are woman employee. Also a Me Too campaign where many of her colleagues who are sexually harassed by the executive, they might come forward and say that this person has done same thing with us. So other women who are not open, they are afraid, they might come in her support. She will be, since she is fighting for the case, though in short term she will face the difficulty, but in long term her confidence will be high. It will give her mental satisfaction. It will show her leadership skills. It will show her exemplary behavior. And in long term, it is good for company as well. Good for all women employee, good for company as well. So these are positive. Negative will be in short term she have to face mental and financial stress. Since companies is indifferent, so company might not support her. Companies also not supporting her. Her personal, if case come into media, her personal reputation, personal life might also get affected. So what you have done, you have written three options and all the pros and cons of all the three options. Now step 5 will be you will choose an option. So obviously option 3 will be the best option. So reason for why you are choosing this option 3, reason will be same, plus points will be reasons. It is her basic human right. So you will give reasoning, it is her basic right. It is her moral responsibility. As a woman, it is her moral responsibility to fight for sexual harassment at workplace. It will be in the interest of all other women employees, all women employee in general, and especially for those women employee who are being harassed by the sales executive. It will show her leadership role, her exemplary behavior, that this woman has a capacity to come out and fight against such evil practices. It will give her personal satisfaction, also mental peace, that yes, I faced all the odd and difficulties and I was able to fight against such the evildoer. Societal satisfaction, she will set an example in society in general where other women will also come forward in the cases of sexual harassment at the workplace. Long term, it will be beneficial for her, other woman employee, or women's at large. It will help in increasing her confidence and inner strength. So you can justify your reasoning by many such statements. Now last step will be ending or conclusion. So you can end your case that Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act. So as per this act, sexual harassment of women is a cognizable offences, and a company promoting such practices should be severely punished by judiciary. Also, one important point, seven sins of Mahatma Gandhi, if you remember, commerce without morality, companies involved in commerce but not having any morality. So, seven sins of Gandhi, commerce without morality, can be beautifully used here in conclusion, and it will give a sense of completeness. Your answer will look refined, beautiful, and once you use this commerce without morality, Gandhiji's seven sin, it will give a weightage to your answer that yes, this guy has certain example and knowledge about these ethical issues. So obviously examiner will get impressed. You can also write about gender justice, work culture ethics, dignity of woman, and your case study. Now what we have done: first step, summary of the case; second step, all the stakeholder; third, ethical dilemmas; fourth, options available with you, along with option, not only writing the option but also their pros and cons, which options you are choosing, why you are choosing that particular option, and ending. Now since it has become, you have to write a case study in 250 words. Case study is carrying 20 marks. You have to write 6 cases. Now one important question, you have to write this much of points. So imagine it will take some time. Now in this case study we get carried away, where we end up spending 20 to 25 minutes on a particular case. Also, generally case studies are long. Now I have told you section A is already having 13 questions. 90 minutes are assigned to you. So section A, to deal with section A, you are getting 4 to 5 minutes per question, uh, 5 to 6 minutes. Section B, there are 6 case study. You are getting 90 minutes. So maximum permissible time is 15 minutes only. So don't spend half an hour on a particular case. Case studies are long, you will take time to read. So always keep a watch. Keep your eyes on watch. You have to give maximum 15 minutes to a single case. Otherwise, you will miss, you won't be able to write all 6 cases. Maybe at the end of 3 hours, you won't be able to attend 2 cases. That Yes, I have attempted 4 cases, but I could not attempt 2 cases because scarcity of time. So basically, it is not scarcity of time; it is your time management issue. That's why writing mock test becomes very important in case study paper. Write as many mock tests as possible. Also prepare in advance. I have shared strategy with you. With this strategy, you can prepare in advance. Write as many mock tests as possible because though question will be different in mock test, but you will devise a strategy. If your mind is tuned in such a way that you have written 25 mock tests, your mind will always in a ready mode where you will be able to deal paper properly. So the time constraint you have to keep in your mind that I have to write a case study in 15 minutes. So practice is very must. Practice is essential. Give as many mock tests as possible, and by giving mock tests and adopting a coherent strategy, I am sure you will be able to get 130 plus marks. I hope you are able to understand the case study. You are also able to understand how to prepare section A of paper 4. I have shared some samples with you. This may be useful to you. So in this way, GS 4 paper 4 can be attempted. Join me on my Telegram channel unacademy_ashpal. You will get notification about my classes. AJ01 is my referral code. I hope the class was useful to you. I tried to cover all the dimension of paper. So in case if you have got any other query, you can type me on my Telegram channel. I have created a chat group there. So if you have got any specific query about essay writing, GS answer writing, GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4, you can write me there. I'll always be there I will be more than happy to help you out. Please like the class, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. I hope the class was useful to you.